There we are.
Well, good evening and welcome to What's New. I'm back from my vacation, so,
And a very unpleasant vacation, I might add.
and so tonight we have a full slate of people here to talk. And first, we're going to let Darlene Klein talk about the Nutrition Center. Lars, you want to go ahead and...
Okay, Darlene, you want to introduce yourself and tell them what your title is?
Well, it's supposed to
And
be
then-
administrator of the St. Jimmy Nutrition Center, but I do have other titles.
Lots of them.
Your many hats.
My many hats,
Your many
yes.
hats.
And what we do is we deliver food to homebound seniors who can't drive or who can't get out. And we do the workshop, we deliver to them. We also deliver to 2 adult daycares in St. Genevieve. This is every day. We deliver like 160 to 170 meals every day. And then we also serve anywhere from 50 to 110 at the center. You can come in, get your food, sit down and talk. Then we also have activities for seniors. On Mondays, we have line dancing, and that's at 12:30, and that goes till 1:30. And then the first Monday of every month, we have a jam session. And what that is, you can bring in any instrument you play, you can sing, you can dance, and you just have a good old time. That's from 6:30 to 9:30. Tuesdays, we have bingo. That's a big
Now,
deal
wait a minute, darling, 6:30 to 9:30.
at night.
Oh, I was going to say, whoa, that's
Ooh,
too
yeah.
6:30 in the morning.
That's before you
Okay,
even start.
sorry.
And then Tuesdays, we have bingo, and that starts at 12:35. That's after you eat.
Okay.
And then Wednesdays, we have card games, and it's pitch. And then on Thursdays, we just started up a painting class that Miss Mary Ann's going to be teaching. And you're welcome to come and teach some too if you want. And then on Fridays, we just have anybody who wants to come in and give talks or stuff, they can come in. And then the 4 times a year, we have a filler's jamboree on a Saturday. And that's anybody with instruments come in, and we have had 8-year-old, 10-year-old come in and play the fiddle. And it sounds
Oh
like
my
they have been
gosh.
playing the fiddle all their life. I mean, people just stop when they start playing because it's awesome.
Oh, my word.
And Quentin Hook taught all these.
Did he really?
And-
He's good.
And he's 82, maybe, sorry Quentin if I'm wrong. Anyway, he finally retired. He gave it up last month,
Oh, did he?
yes. And then among all that, our food's got to be good for people because we serve 2 of them that's 100 years old. We serve 27 that are in their 90s.
Oh, my Lord.
That's great. How
And
many people do you have delivering meals?
we have, all together, we have 13 of them.
And that's all volunteer?
Well,
you
we
can always
pay them, we
use
pay
one.
mileage.
Oh, do you?
Yes, they get paid mileage, but they don't have to claim it. You know, if you're on disability, you can still deliver meals because you don't claim it. What we're
Oh,
doing is
okay.
reimbursing you for your gas.
Right.
And we just had a new driver today, and we had a new lady that started. She started at the desk, and she did that one day, and she said, I don't know if I want to do this. I said, well, would you want to go in the kitchen? Oh, I definitely do not want to do that. And I said, well, would you like to deliver meals? And she said, yeah, I think I would like to try that. So I sent her with an experienced delivery person, and then I called her a couple weeks ago. I said, would you like to try it on your own? She said, yes. So when she came in, I said, I just want you to know that when you walk into that house, you have to look at their faces because their face lights up. Because you are the only person some of these people see all day long. And you're the only person they get to talk to face all day long. And she came back and she had tears in her eyes. She said, that was awesome.
Oh,
I had no idea that's what I was getting into.
isn't
Oh, it's
that
awesome, because
wonderful? Yeah.
I've
It is.
delivered.
Yeah,
I
she
get it.
delivered for us for 6 weeks, yeah. It's
I
awesome.
sub once in a while.
And then you really get attached to them,
Oh, my God.
and then you lose them. And that's really hard on me, isn't it? Because I always say a prayer when we lose somebody, and I never have gotten through the whole prayer yet. It gets me,
Is Miss Lou?
but that's what we do.
It is awesome.
That is.
Now, Mary Ann just started at our desk. She is a volunteer, and she's learning the ropes, and she's doing pretty good.
I try.
If anybody out there watching, you can come sit up here. If anybody out there watching has any questions that they want to ask Darlene, feel free to call the number on the screen. And you can do some more if you want. I mean, if you have any other,
No, that's
pretty well covers it all.
That's
He
enough.
wasn't even bad, was it?
That's enough for a couple years.
Oh, you can go back before a couple of years or
I just want to say, she does an awesome job. I mean, she wears a hat of many colors out there, because I experience it, and I see it, and it is awesome.
Okay, don't say no more, you're gonna make me hot.
That's because she's Darlene. She's always.
She is Darlene.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
I do like my job.
That's good.
You're good at it.
I like the people.
I do too.
That's what makes the job. the
That's why I
people.
love going out there when I do.
That's what I
love
like.
it.
People person. Huh?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
when I started, I'm a huggy person. And you can tell by looking at somebody if they want you to hug you or not, you know. And it was about 8 months after I was there, this guy came in and he walked over and gave me a hug, and I'm going, oh my God, he really likes me. And his daughter-in-law was there, and she said, I have never gotten a hug from him.
Oh, my word.
I said, but he likes me, you don't like me. But that's what I do, I joke around with them, you
Yeah.
know, and if anybody's new and they walk in, all you gotta do is just say, I've never been here before, and the desk will say, Darlene, and then by the time they leave, they're welcome. They know
Yeah.
they're welcome.
We make sure,
We enjoy it.
That's good.
We have a
That's
good time.
and it's
And
awesome.
Darlene, anybody can come to the bingos and
Anybody.
I
Yes.
can't wait till every time.
And anybody can eat there. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can be, we even have little ones that come with their grandparents and they eat it. You don't have to be 60 to eat there. Anybody can eat there.
And the dinners are $3, is that what they're?
$3 for over 60, yes.
Over 60 is 3, yeah.
And it's a good, you get a lot of
You
food.
do, you get a lot.
Oh, my God.
And the bread's homemade every morning.
Oh, really?
Desserts are all homemade, nothing store-bought.
That's
And
good.
we have 3 cooks. One's been there for over 15 years, one's been there for over 10 years, and one's been over 6 years. And from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, there's no talking. They are so busy because they have to have it done and ready to pack at 10:15. And they cook the whole meal that morning in that short of time, the bread and everything.
And it's good.
They do a good job.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
The food's good.
You just stay out of their way.
I just stick my
You're
head
not,
long
you're
enough
not
to give them
welcome in the
note.
kitchen until
Just stay out of the way.
after they get finished.
Just run in, give them a note, and run back out. But they're
Well,
great.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for joining us. We're happy to have you.
I'm so glad nobody called.
And see, next time it's gonna be a lot easier on you, darling.
Everyone, when they first come, are very nervous. They're like, I can't do that. Well, sure you can. We're all not
I told you
super-
could. She says, what do I need to dress? Do I need to dress? I said, no, just come and show.
Hey, your mink and diamonds would work.
This is me. I've never worn makeup or anything like that. This is me.
You get what you see. huh? Yeah,
And that's been my friend for many years.
Many years.
many years.
We graduated together.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's
Went to
good.
school together. Hung around together.
My grandkids even know her.
Yes. They're precious.
That's what's nice about a small town. It is really nice about a
Because she
small town.
gave Suzette her diploma when she graduated, and this past year, she gave her son the diploma. So she gave 2 generations right there.
Oh, my gosh, Mary Ann.
She had to tell you
She didn't really have to tell her about that, did she?
in case you want to know it. That's awesome. It is.
You've been hanging around that school for a long time, haven't you?
Been hanging around me too long. But that, I thought that was awesome. I'm real proud of it, because I got them pictures up there. And his family.
Well, anytime you want to come back, just give us a buzz, or we'll
Anything
be
that's coming in?
banging on your door wanting you to come, so.
And I'll be there tomorrow, as usual.
For painting,
Oh, yeah.
ours can come too, everybody's welcome.
Maybe one of these days I'll pop in there. Becky's a painter too.
See?
She's a watercolorist. Do
I
you do oil
can't
too?
paint.
I don't. I do.
Yeah.
But you make a
watercolor,
good bunny
gouache.
rabbit.
Watch.
Right now, I don't paint.
A rabbit and
haven't
Santa
been
Claus.
Yeah.
Mary Ann could come and dress up
She
and
had to
entertain
use her rabbit
everybody.
outfit one year for Easter over at church, and the sisters kept saying, "Who are you?" And I kept pointing to my license plate. They didn't catch on. They never did figure out who they was. So I thought, now how am I gonna repay her? She wouldn't take no money. So I made homemade cinnamon rolls and I took it to her. I said, "This is for letting me." "Oh, well, that's good enough."
Were they better than hers probably, huh? She makes awesome ones.
Those are mine. She just freezes them and gives them to you.
Darn, there was my secret. Oh, Lord.
Well, anytime you got something else that comes up, come back.
Sure.
Okay.
I promise I won't lean on you, George, next time you come in. I've been
Okay.
working on it for a while.
So which one of you guys want to go next? It doesn't matter.
You can take off.
I'll go.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is Charles Oakes, and
Yes.
did I say it right?
That's correct.
Okay. And he's opening a furniture store here in town, so he wanted to come and let everybody know what's going to be there and what they're going to do. So welcome.
Well, thank you. As was mentioned, my name is Charles Oakes, and, opening up a furniture store here in St. Genevieve, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to be in this town. I bought the old Saberliner building, so it's going to be located right out on M Road, right behind the old Grandpa's building. It's a large facility, so I can have a lot of furniture, which means a lot of selection. So we're in the process, looking at a grand opening date of October the 4th.
October 4th?
Yeah, it's going to be our grand opening, so it's going to be a great time with, going to have a lot of events planned and a lot of special promotions going on that day. So
Are you going to have a soft opening before that?
we are going to have a soft opening. We do have furniture in there now. We're just, and everything that will be in there is already purchased. We're just waiting on everything to finally get in so we can display it, and then
And didn't you tell me it's going to be like a weekends only all weekend? I thought that was kind of cool.
Yes,
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's a place where you can get value without having to wait to the weekends to shop. So what I said was so unique about this location is, for me, when I target my marketing, we're 50 miles from St. Louis, from the start of St. Louis, and 50 miles from the start of Cape Girardeau. So we're centrally located, which gives us a great area to pull from. And I want to be doing some local advertisement through the radio and the newspaper, but I'm also going to be doing a lot of direct and circular mail, which should pull a lot of people to St. Genevieve. So hopefully it's good for the community as well as myself.
Now, are you going to have appliances also, or have you decided on?
I haven't really decided. It'd be nice to be able to handle a full line. At 3 o'clock when the refrigerator goes out, it'd be nice to be able to go get one in town with that and be able to have a large selection. I just got back from Nashville, Tennessee, over the weekend, through a buying group that I am part of, and they do have appliances. So I was looking at all these mattress shops that had mattresses and appliances, and I'm thinking, and everybody says there's never no money in appliances, and everybody here's in it. So,
Well, St. Genevieve has a way of, when one person does something, there's like 10 more pop up, because they, just, that's the way people are here. You open a tavern, and there's 5 more taverns, you open a whatever, and there's 5 more of them. That's just the way our town operates, I guess.
Are you going to be open during the week or just on
we,
weekends?
we are going to be open Monday through Saturday, from 9 to 6 during the week, and from 9 to 3 on Saturday. And we're going to carry a large selection.
Would you like to say some of your brands?
You know what? I could, yes.
That'd probably be good.
Best Chair, we'll go into the upholstery line of it. I have Best Chair, which is just right under Lazy Boy. Probably built as good, but more of a promotional, affordable, everyday type furniture. So very, very nice American-made furniture. It's made over in Indiana.
Now, or do they use the really good grade of foam for their cushions?
They, you know what, they have it all. They do use great foam. They got the inner springs and the cushion cores as well. It's all solid construction. They use plywood grade versus basically particle board or some other type of.
The reason I'm asking those questions, I used to work at a furniture store.
Sure,
so I know
sure,
pretty much
yes.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, and they do a great job, and they take a lot of pride. It is American-made, and it's made over in southern Indiana,
Well, that's good.
around the vicinity of Santa Claus, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So it's right around that area, within about 5 miles or so of their plant. That's one great line. Have another line called Catnapper, which they have and that is a motion part of their business, and they also have another brand called Jackson, and that is their stationery. So, and
This
Best
is all
Chair.
made by the same company?
Yes.
Is it really?
That's a pretty unique story. The owner of Jackson Catnapper went north to Detroit and got into the automobile industry, and he was from the Tennessee area, and he got homesick, so he came home and started his furniture company with $30 and used the assembly line method that he learned in the car manufacturer. And now, you know, Jackson Catnapper is a very large,
It is, yeah.
successful business, and what a great story that is. You know, to be able to, that's the American dream there. So
That certainly is.
yes, you know, and they have
Now, is that gonna be choice of fabrics also, or is that just gonna be what's shipped in?
you know, they used to have a married fabric, but a lot of the companies, and they're one of them, that's going to have a fabric program as well. So
That's really nice. When
yes,
you can choose what you want, you know, what fabric you want.
then another motion company that I have is called Southern Motion, which is probably one of the hottest motion lines that there is today.
Is that ultra modern, or modern, or modern?
Well, they do some of that. Yeah, they're really into a lot of the colors. I mean, you'll see a lot of, they'll get out there and they'll put a lot of colors. They got a lot of high-leg chairs, or a lot of accent chairs along with their products, and they'll do a lot of colors and coordinating, and do a great job. I was there. They make their product out of around Tupelo, which is Pontotoc,
Oh, okay.
which is south, about 25, 30 minutes south of Tupelo. And I was there a couple weeks ago at a show in Tupelo and went and toured their plant. And, you know, it is a very clean facility. All the workers were just,
Is that ran by a local boy from here?
that is ran from,
Owned by somebody local from St. John?
you know, I don't know who
No.
owns that,
Okay.
other than, it's quite a organization down there. Yeah, everybody, their quality, you know, it was just amazing how they could get pulled off of their job and not get aggravated or just do what they needed to do, and was happy to do their jobs, and they took pride in it, you could tell, so.
That's good.
Then I went up to Vegas, and a week before that, so I've been traveling a lot in the last 3 weeks. I've been to Vegas, Tupelo, and Nashville, so got a little jet lag still going on, so. And then I've been from here to St. Louis twice today, and I got to make another trip yet. My son they're having their baby sometime today or tonight.
Oh, okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you. Going to be another Oaks, a baby boy. So,
boy.
Yeah, another Oaks. So,
And the name of your company is Oaks Home Furniture?
Oaks Home
Is that correct?
Furnishings, yes. Yes, and we're going to have a mattress gallery inside of it as well.
And what brands of mattress are you in?
You know, our major line is Serta because they make the world's best mattress. Bar none. We're going to have a large selection. I'm probably going to have around 20 SKUs to choose from. And not to get anybody confused, we'll take them through the proper course of determining what type of comfort level they really need to get that night's sleep that they deserve. And we'll have a process that we can do that without them getting scared about seeing all these mattresses. But then we'll have the right mattress for them. So we've got a lot of the memory foams, and then that we're going to be offering, and most everything's going to be on an adjustable base, and that is such a neat feature. If you ever been put into a bed and was ever taken to the point to where you have no gravity, you couldn't believe how great that feels. No pressure points.
Kind of like being in the water, huh?
You know, basically, yes, no pressure points, and, you know, and a lot of choosing the right mattress has to be having the right pillow as well. 20% of your comfort comes from your neck alignment, so we've invested in a pillow program as well that is going to allow people to get a proper pillow as well, the choice of a proper pillow, so that we really can take care of them when they're looking for a mattress and getting something that will make them count sheep.
With that little Serta. I have a little Serta lamb from when I worked at the furniture store.
They still got them, actually, I brought one from Nashville home
Oh,
for
my
my
goodness.
grandson, and now they're a little bigger.
Are they?
So I bought a couple of boxes of them to give away to some of the kids.
They're really cute.
Then,
Now, are you going, one other question about mattresses. Are you going to take old mattresses to dispose of, or
you know,
have you not decided that yet?
we're still in the process of working that over.
I know that's something people,
And that is something people want to know.
Right.
You know, with the bed bug issues, I don't want to actually put it in the same truck that we deliver.
exactly.
So I'm looking at some ways to make sure that we can at least put them into a bag and be
Sealed off.
sealed off so that we're not going to have any issues. So we definitely don't want to deliver somebody a nice,
New
beautiful
mattresses,
mattress.
little blacky bugs are
and
crawling
then,
around.
you know, and get into that situation. But, you know, I have been doing some research about if offering that service, maybe getting an older truck to, and go around at the end of the day.
And of course, a lot of the places like St. Vincent de Paul and Goodwill and places like that take them. Do you guys do that down at the Presbyterian? You don't do that?
But there is that service, and there, you know, there's a lot of great mattresses as well that could help people, so we
Right,
are, we are
exactly.
looking into that, and we want to make sure we come up with the right decision as far as taking care of that with.
I remember when I was in Festus at the furniture store, this little guy, he was in his 20s, kept coming in the store every day, and he kept looking at the mattresses, you know, and he, oh, I wish I could afford one. I said, well, what kind of mattress do you have? And he said, I don't have any, I sleep on the floor. So my mom had a mattress in the basement, so I told Dave, I said, Mom, can we take that? And she said, sure. So it was a roll-up one off of a sofa sleeper. We put it in our truck, and it was musty smelling. And I was like, oh, we shouldn't give this to him, that's terrible. Well, anyway, Dave said, well, we got it in the truck, we're taking it up there, he can throw it away if you don't want it. And I said, well, he can probably just take it over to the store and dump it, they won't care. So he wasn't home when we got there, and we left it in the backyard, in his backyard. And the sun was out real bright that day, and it was a hot day. It was dry heat though. And he came in the store on Monday and he said, I said, well, how you like your mattress? He said, I love it. And I said, didn't it stink? And he goes, no, not at all. And I said, well, God must have purified it because it sure smells bad when we dropped it off. But that's true. People really, really, I mean, there's people
There is a
that
great
really
need.
need mattresses.
There's a
right?
need. And I'm looking at, you can steam a lot of that stuff too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
we're looking at some things to be able to, if we do give it away, take it through a process first. And, we do have another mattress line. We handle Campbell
Campbell.
as well. That's
That's out of Cape. Is
That's
it
a
still?
local company. They do a great job, and they are out of Cape. So it's, if somebody wants something local, another American-made product. Our Serta comes out of Batesville, Mississippi,
Does it?
is the plant that we get our product from. So they have plants all over the United States, but ours particularly comes from Batesville. So,
What kind of wood furniture? are you-
a lot of wood. I love wood. Oak, so I'm really going to be big into the oak end of it. We have Steve Silver, which is out of a Texas company, and they make a lot of table sets, end tables, TV, entertainment center. So that is one of our, and that is a very good line. They've been around for a long time, and they're really well-known in the industry. They do a lot of promotional to middle goods lines, so it's something that's going to be our mainstream of business. Then we have Liberty, which is another great line. They do dining room sets. They go into formal all the way to casual, which the formal business is kind of left a little bit. Most people are
Very casual nowadays.
yeah, very casual, and a lot of the dining room sets have went to the wayside and went to the computer room or something else. Even computers have downsized,
Right.
You used to have a big desk, and you had all this stuff, and now everything's getting smaller. Technology's getting better, and everything's getting smaller, so.
Yeah, it's amazing, young people's houses. They have nothing sitting out, and everything's like, get in there and wipe it down and you're done.
It's the way it is, yes. And then we do a lot of their bedrooms. They got occasional tables as well, a large, we're talking books full of a lot of the products. So they have a really
So you're gonna
large
do
SKU
like
number.
special orders?
And everybody that we handle does do special orders with low minimums, and being on 55, we're at a great location. It's always something coming up, so we don't get penalized for having to wait for a truck coming to a certain area. They've got stuff, most of these southern companies got stuff coming up 55 all the time, so that's a positive for us here as well. They do bedroom stuff as well. I've ordered a nice wooden middle class, the middle area bedroom sets, wood, not press. This is wood stuff with the side bearing guide systems, very nice, and stuff around the $2,000 range or under. So for a complete bedroom set, so very well priced, and for the type of quality and look that you get. English dovetail drawers, it's a very nice end. Then I have another company with my wood products, several of them. I got Legends. They do entertainment centers all the way to bedrooms, fireplaces. I've got a lot of fireplaces. I ordered the new electric fireplaces
Oh, wow.
that that go in inserts. That's a big market nowadays. Everybody wants it. TVs are getting bigger, they want to put it there and have a fireplace as well. So there's a lot of great looks in that market right now. So, and then we've got, there's just so many other smaller lines that just offer all kinds of specialty products.
In other words, you have a wide range of choice.
You know what? Yeah, we picked up a lot of lines, and we got a pretty full bag.
That's good.
Which, the size of our building, the building that we bought's over 40,000 square foot, so it takes a lot of room to, it takes a lot of room to have a furniture store. Most furniture stores, you know, if you limit yourself in square footage, you limit yourself in the business, and then when people need something, they run to you and you don't have it. It's nice to be able to special order, but at the same time, they have a need and they want to fulfill it right then, so we'll be able to
Yeah,
handle
and I
it.
think the population is getting to be a instant gratification society too, more so than it used to
You
be.
bet, you bet. Yeah, before they would let you, you know, before, you know, if you didn't have it, go ahead and work for me, but today, yeah, we can go to St. Louis
Yeah,
or
we'll go
Cape
someplace
or,
else and get it.
you know, and, yeah, and, so it'd be good to be able to offer, to be able to take away some of that and be able to keep the business local and be able to keep that tax dollar here in St. Genevieve. So-
And you're local also from Perryville, right?
Yes, yes. I do live in Perryville. I've got a couple boys that live here in St. Genevieve. So both of my boys, one's a sheriff's deputy, my oldest son Charles, who is going to help me part-time when he's off. And then my other son is a paramedic up here. And his name is David. So both of them's only worked up here for around 8 years. And they both live over close to where,
Just short of it.
yes, yeah, a couple blocks from the store, so that's pretty.
So they can run there even when it's bad.
You know what, it was great today, yes, no, yeah, they can't take off because of the weather. When I was coming home from I was coming down to from St. Louis today, I got a phone call, I seen a number on there, and I called him back, and it was a truck driver saying, hey, this place isn't open, I got furniture. And I said, well, I understand that, and I've tried to relay that thought to everybody that I bought and gave my cell number so we could plan ahead, and when something was being delivered, I'd make sure somebody was there. But I said, hold on, and I called my son, and he was only 2 blocks, he lives 2 blocks away, so he was able to run up there real fast and take it off for him, so it's good to be able to have that access.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're just excited to get it open, and got a lot of great looks. Gonna have some big lines, a lot of selection, I should say. I've got probably 60 chairs in there right now, from anywhere from reclining to just everyday chairs, you know, so my thought is somebody comes in and gets a mattress and leaves with a chair, because they just gotta have, even though they're not a market for a whole, yeah, even though they're not in a marketplace for a whole new living room set, they can't live without that chair. It's got such a great print, you know.
And
And
they're doing some really wild prints now, aren't they?
you know what?
Yeah, and they're really cool. I
They
like
are. We was putting some of this stuff together when I got back there today, and some of it was some dining sets from Coaster, which is a distributor out of Chicago. And we started putting some of these chairs together, and it was a multicolored group, which has a white chair, mint green, a blue, and then a burgundy type of chair. So really, but they put a lot of things together, and it gives a great look, you know. Going to have a lot of color and a lot of new styles. And then, you know, we've got the oak, medium oak stuff, which is every day, but we do have a lot of fresh looks, and just kind of targeted for, you know, every age group. You know, we go from every age group on just selection.
That's good.
It is good, you know.
That'd be good for St. John to have a
Oh, absolutely.
place like that. We haven't had one for a few years
You
now.
I
know,
remember when I met him, and he would tell me all about that. I said, can I tell everybody? And he said, oh, sure. So I went back and told everybody. We were in a furniture store.
It is great. I got my truck lettered up. It's sitting.
It's sitting out
Yes,
there.
I saw
yeah.
that out by where the old car wash, or,
Yes.
what's his name?
Chico.
Chico.
Chico was,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And, yeah, it's a great, that turned out well.
Yeah, it is. It's a very attractive truck.
Yeah, we've got some billboards that's gonna be done around here as well, so they should be coming in the next couple of weeks. So
That's good.
it is good, you know. You know, we're excited, we was able to buy the place and excited about the furniture business. And, you know, that's, this economy is, I feel gonna pick up, you know. We've had several years of uncertainty, but a lot of things, America's came a long ways. You know, we're really big in oil, and, you know, I think it's a good time to take advantage of our future. And like I said, we've really strived at these markets to try to deal with all the companies that are starting to do stuff in America. So you'll see a lot of products that is made in America.
Well, that's
That's the
good.
best
yeah.
thing.
And that's what we,
We
that's what
don't
I,
need China.
you know what? There
They
might
got
have
too
been a
much
day,
of us.
there might have been a day for that, but it's time to
They
bring.
got too much of us already.
It's time to bring our jobs back to America.
I
And,
agree there. It should be American made.
Yes, and,
So, well, we're very glad you came tonight.
I'm just
Furnished
excited.
us with all this information.
Do you have a date that you're gonna open, kinda maybe?
You know, I'm going up there
Not
pretty
sure.
well every day right
Oh.
now. So if somebody needs something, stop by from there. You're more than welcome to look.
Oh, okay.
Our soft opening, you know, I'm gonna get with some of these, manufacturers that I bought all this from and try to get them to pin down. They can pretty well pin down the dates that they're gonna send it to me, and some that's a little closer to a grand opening, I'll start tweaking on them a little bit. Putting the pressure on, you
There you
know.
go.
We need a little earlier, but I meant,
So you said probably the first weekend in October?
yeah, that's what we're looking for. It's 10/4, that's kinda, that was,
10-4, that's good.
10/4.
Good, 10-4.
10/4, you know, I kinda like that, it's got a good ring to it, doesn't it? So,
OCB days.
So for sure it'll be 10.
yes, we're gonna open, yeah, we,
10/4.
you know, everything, there might be a few pieces we're missing, but everything, you know, I'm pretty well, I've been getting confirmations from my companies on my phone here the last few days, you just ring it up with all this product, so, you know, the holidays, better get them over, because Tuesday, I've got about 3 companies, and, you know, they're large shipments. I think Steve Silver is like 274 pieces, that's,
It'll take a while.
yeah, you know, that's 3/4 of a truckload of just full boxes, you know, and then you gotta assemble it and put it out and stuff like that, but, yeah, I've got 3 trucks like that scheduled in around the 2nd, and then.
Wow.
And Catnapper, you know, I bought 2 full semi-loads of their product, and Southern Motion about right at the 2 semi-load mark, so a lot of, it's good that's a big building, because it's gonna
Yes,
take.
it is.
We're gonna fill it up with furniture, so,
That'll be good for
yeah,
St.
it
John.
will be good, and, you know, we love this, you know, it's a great town, I'm just happy to be a part of it. Loved everything, my experiences that I've had so far, so,
Well, welcome to St. John.
well, thank you.
Yes.
And come back and visit us anytime.
We will.
Yeah, you can come back right before you open and,
We'll do that.
See
Maybe
if we
by
can
then
pull some more people in.
I'll have some of my show specials and.
okay.
Yes,
'cause
Do
we're
come
gonna be-
back.
We're gonna be doing a lot of, show specials and a lot of special pricing on some things, and really, we've got some, marble tables, marble tops, 5-piece dinettes. So we're gonna run some of those on a special, a lot of other things, so, we'll come back and, have a list of a little more.
Well, that'll be good.
Well, we thank you for
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks.
having a good meeting. I'm gonna head back up and,
Head back to work, huh?
well, I'm gonna head
No,
back
he's
to St.
going to
Louis.
St.
Yeah.
And go see that little baby, yeah.
Well, I was waiting for the doctor, and he thought it'd be late night, early morning, so we'll.
Well, congratulations on your account.
Congratulations.
Thanks for coming.
Take care.
Okay, which one you guys want to go?
Are you sure? Well, I will. I'm Becky Millinger, and I am with the Presbyterian Church, and I came to talk about the Antoine O'Neill renovation project, which we have. I think everybody knows in town that we own the O'Neill House that sits right next to the church at 160 South Main. And we were lucky, last year, there's a foundation in Wisconsin called the Jeffress Family Foundation, and they contacted us and said, we'd like to help you renovate that building. So they gave us a grant, $20,000, and we were able to do a historic structures report. And that was completed last June, and then this June, they gave us, last November, and this June, they gave us another grant. It's a capital fund challenge grant where we get $100,000 if we earn $200,000. So it's a big amount of money, but I think it's pretty doable. They're very invested in what we're doing at that house. So I brought some things. I think I handed these out last night.
Right.
You all had. Mary Ann didn't get one. I'll give you all one. But basically, it's just it talks about the capital campaign. I've been on a lot of research about Antoine O'Neill, and people will say, oh, that's the O'Neill house, but they don't really know who he was. So basically, long story short, he was a silversmith born in Quebec about 1769. And he apparently was all over, because I found records where he lived in Detroit, he lived in Vincennes, he was here, he probably was in St. Louis, although I haven't tracked those records down. But basically, he was a working man, and he was like a traveling salesman. He went out and he found his business and did his silversmithing, and then he came home. And he arrived in St. Genevieve sometime around 1816, but there's evidence that his brother Joseph, who was about 11 years older, was here in 1792. So all of that's a little fuzzy about whether he was here, but he had some strong associations with some pretty big name historic people. Francis Vigo, who is very well known in Vincennes. I've never been to Vincennes. I'm hoping to get to go, but he is known for being the person who funded George Rogers Clark and his militia to fight against the British.
Oh, great.
So he was quite wealthy, and at one time, but however, he died a pauper, from what I understand. But ironically, and you and I know this, we know this as artists, we do the work, and then that work becomes known as the Francis Vigo silver. So Antoine O'Neill made a silver set, crafted a silver set for Francis Vigo, and it's actually in the Grausland Museum in Vincennes. And
That's Indiana.
Vincennes, Indiana, and that is the mansion, the home of William Henry Harrison, who was actually governor of Indiana, but then he also later became president, I understand. So unfortunately, no one really knows that as Antoine O'Neill silver, but so for the kinds of silver that this man did, and in the brochure you see that he had a really large Indian trade, making Indian trade silver, and we think that he was associated, in fact, I know he was associated with John Askin, who was a trader at that time around the late 1790s into the early 1800s. And so he had an association as a trader, and we know that he had a 1,000-piece order. But of that 1,000-piece order, I'm going to show you the one thing that we know that survived. I talked about this last night. I didn't have my pictures at the Artists Guild last night, but this is the only thing that survived that we know.
Isn't that amazing?
And it's a big cross. It's a
Oh, is that what's in here?
that's in the brochure. It's 11+ inches tall, and it was something that would have been given to a chief, and they found it in a burial site.
He's zooming in on it if you want to.
Oh. Turn it
That way, there you go.
to you.
Right there, yeah.
Okay.
That's good, he's got it.
He's got it zoomed in now.
It was found in a burial site in Amherstburg, Windsor, Ontario, and it is in the Windsor's Community Museum right now. But on the front of it, which you can not really see very well, but it has his cartouche, and a cartouche is this maker's mark that he would have had a little punch that he made that had his AO, and then everything he made, he would have punched his mark into it so that it was known, kind of like a business card at that time, where if he sold something that had that. And it's kind of funny because I found in a record I believe it's in Detroit Silver, a book called Detroit Silver, there was actually in 1820 ad in a paper in the Centennial from Indiana that was saying, if you have any information about a stolen pitcher mug that has AO on it, we'd like to hear from you. It was stolen from a tavern or wherever.
Oh, my word.
And I was not able to find any follow-up to that, so I have no idea, but it was clearly his. And what's really funny about that cartouche is for many years, people believed that to belong to a silversmith from the East Coast, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but there was a Professor Bald, Cleveland Bald, or Cleaver Bald, who was the first to identify that AO as Antoine O'Neill. So he has a pretty strong history, but a lot of it hasn't been compiled, and so people don't know who he was. But when he came here in town, there are actually some pieces of silver that he created. The Felix Valley House has, I actually have pictures of these things. They have a mug that has FV, which was for Francois Ballet, I believe. I may be saying that wrong, but it looks similar to this.
Oh.
So he had some pretty refined things as well as this Indian trade stuff. The St. John Museum has another one that has Francois Jany, a mug that he had. It was found in the attic of the Green Tree Tavern when they were renovating it. It had been there for many, many years, so they have that. The Catholic Church has I can't remember the word, Al Kaiser told me, but basically it's a baptismal bowl that they carry, and it has a little wand in it that they do their baptisms with, and it is still used by the church, and on the bottom of it has the cartouche of Antoine O'Neill. There are some silver spoons that are here.
Why do they call them coffin spoons? Is that how they-
Well, it's the style of the end of the handle,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And I don't really know why, I guess it doesn't look like a coffin to me, but, you know. And then probably the most famous thing, which actually was offered to the Bolduc House when Lorraine was the director, and this is the Constance Rozier pitcher. It's a water pitcher, it's about 11 inches high, and it is very ornate, and it's very typical of his style of silver. But, so he's known in his era of silversmiths as being the top 17. So he isn't just some guy that was here, he actually had a history and is kind of a renowned person. Indiana actually considers him, especially Vincennes, considers him their silversmith. So they took ownership of him long before we knew really much about him. But what we know about him from St. Genevieve is that he built the house down on South Main sometime around 1817, 1820. It's been actually identified as being earlier than that, but he wasn't in town earlier than that in 1810. He was actually in Vincennes. I've tracked him where he married in Detroit in 1797. He was in Vincennes, Indiana, about 1803 was the beginning. And he was there until about 1813, 14, 16. It's all vague, because people back then didn't live their lives thinking, I'm going to get this in writing so that six generations later we'll know where we were. They just didn't do that.
That's
So
true.
if you find records, to prove it, then you're able to prove it. But we know that by 1820, that house was standing, and it's listed in the Pierre Menard and Valet records as a new frame house. So Jim Baker thinks that it was probably built somewhere between 1815 and 1820, but there's really no proof. In our historic structures report, we had a team that came down, and they actually looked at every part of that house, and they could see where the back of the house, which is closed in, was probably a galley porch in the beginning. And it has still the original fireplace. And so there are a lot of factors of the house that can be renovated and saved. And when we do that renovation later, we'll probably start in about 1917, we will have some place to honor. There will be something to honor Antoine O'Neill's life, because he was a significant player in the silver market. So that capital campaign started in June of this year, and it will go for 3 years or until we earn our money. If we get it sooner than that, we can end it and then begin the renovation. But we have started with, the first major event is a trivia night, and I've given this to Don He has it up on the internet, and we're going to have it at the American Legion. And if you have a place to hang that, you can certainly take that as well. And we'll have, the American Legion will be singing, have their cash bar and soda and that type of thing, but we're going to have a gourmet dessert bar. So you can come, and Yvonne Lemire from the cooking school is going to make some gourmet desserts for us, and we'll sell those for $5 each. We'll have 50/50. I just found out tonight, I have 2 tickets to the Rams football game with the Seahawks on October 19th, so they'll be part of our raffle or auction, I'm not sure which. I have a silversmith who has been coming to our church, and it's amazing how I believe that we have had divine intervention from this whole thing, because things happen and you go, that is so weird. But we have a lady who moved here from Rhode Island, and she's been here about 10 months. Her name is Jill Kennick, and she lives on Hennick Road. She has a business called Acropolis, and she is a silversmith by trade, but she also has a business, she's a model maker. And Jill has designed some jewelry. Somebody asked me last night, was that, I don't remember, Jean was over, someone said, you ought to have jewelry. Well, we do. So I brought some samples of what we're going to sell. These were designed by Jill. I'll pass some of them around so you can see. She did, this is a trade cross that's inspired by the one that he made. On the back it has Antoine O'Neill cartouche on it. And so we'll be selling these at the trivia night will be the first night we'll introduce them. We also have fleur-de-lis earrings, and then one of the things for the trivia night that we'll be auctioning off is that Jill is going to have a sterling silver, these are not precious metal, but she'll have a sterling silver cross necklace like this, which we will be auctioning off that night. So you guys had that one. And we also have October 25th, we'll be on the porch of the O'Neill House, and Jill will do a historic silversmithing demo, and she's going to make a silver bell the way Antoine O'Neill would have done that. And so that's kind of interesting, because things that get manufactured by machines now, he did this with a hammer and whatever. He didn't use like a mold. You think that he would melt silver and put it in a mold. He didn't do that. He used sheet metal, or he pounded out metal. A lot of his different things that he made were made from what they call coin silver. So he literally melted coins. One of the reasons that you might not see a lot of O'Neill things around, there are, I found quite a few pieces actually, but the trade silver, for instance, is that silversmiths often, because they couldn't get silver, would take silver that they found around town. So if somebody saw that piece of silver that O'Neill did and they wanted to do something, they'd melt it down and make something else and put their cartouche on it. So that's probably one of the reasons that there isn't a lot of his work around, but there are quite a few pieces actually, and we'll be talking about that on the porch of the O'Neill as she does that. We'll be selling these things. All of the proceeds, everything that we have has been given by donation or volunteer, so everything will go 100% to the capital fund, to the campaign. So we would like to have the town come out and support us, and you'll get something for your donation. So we're real happy to be able to get this done, and I think I'm going to be at the silversmithing conference at the foundation on the 27th, and we'll be talking a little bit about Antoine O'Neill. And then we'll be again at the Christmas walk. So we have a lot of different things planned. On September 30th, we are hosting a historic costume class. If you would like to, a lot of people say, oh, I can't go to the French ball because I don't have a dress. We're going to, Becky McClellan from the Felix Valley House is going to teach that class. We'll send out, it's limited to 10 people. I've already sold 2 slots, and I haven't even advertised it yet, so it's going to go fast, but you'll be able to finish a skirt and a jacket, very simple things. They're not going to be like the historic clothing that like I wear. But so we have a lot of different ideas coming up and events coming up, so I hope that you stay tuned, and we'll have things in the newspaper, and we'll come back and talk to you as
That's great.
I'll come back and tell you how things go, and we we'll just see, because we've got 3 years, but I hope we can do it sooner, because I'd like to see us get going on that house. And then I failed to tell you what we're going to do with that house. It has always been a plan for the church to use it to expand our food pantry. And St. Vincent de Paul has a huge food pantry. We have a fairly large one. We serve a lot of people. We are seeing so many more. They're talking about the economy, how bad it is. We're seeing so many people coming now that weren't coming, and so our church does support the community by giving the food. We also, the top floor of this building will be used for a youth center. And when we have activities from our church, we have Vacation Bible School, for instance, more than half of the kids that come are from different denominations other than our own. So we have a lot of community activities. We try to support the community in different ways, and so it'll be worthwhile. And then the 2 front rooms will be meeting, and if we may, I don't know, this is not carved in stone, but we may be able to rent those rooms out for function if people need to have some kind of, a meeting in a small area, a small space. So it'll be very worthwhile. That was one of the reasons the Jeffers people got involved, was because of our community work and our help. in the
Now, I
community.
look at the house, and you gave it a different name. I always called it the Mel Thurman House.
Exactly. It is the.
So if anybody was wondering, what are they talking about?
What is she talking about? Exactly. It is probably commonly and across the board known as the Thurman House.
Yes.
But it actually is the Antoine. But see, it's just like with his silver. He makes his silver and it goes to
I didn't
Francis
know
Vigo.
that.
So.
Did you do the drawing inside, the painting inside?
No, actually, Jim Baker did
Oh,
this.
Jim did that?
And he did the
That's really
conceptual
nice.
drawing. And then the other drawing that's from the Center Hall came from the Historic Structures Report, so one of the
Oh.
architects did that. Yes, then I don't do too much drawing anymore. That's not what, I'm sewing much more. I'm looking forward to these
No,
sewing
it's
classes.
still an art.
Well, it is. It is an art, and so I'll probably get back to it. In fact, I was thinking last night, because the Art Guild is going to have the plein air and the different things, I may sit down and try to paint the Thurman House. Will it sell better if I say the Thurman House?
Okay, this is Baker's rendition of it.
Yes, Jim Baker.
And it looks like, I was getting mixed up, is Bolduc House?
And it's
Yeah.
very
One across the
similar to the Valley House. It's built in that
Okay,
same,
yeah.
one of the misconceptions that people have about the house is that it's a vertical log home, and it is not. It is an American frame, I can't think of the word that they use, but it is not. And what happened was, whenever the French were here, people did the Creole style houses, but as the century kind of turned and there was more influx from people from other, from the east that were from other nations, they kind of got away from that Creole, and so it isn't a vertical log, it's just a frame house, and it's very similarly built to the Felix Valley house, of that same style.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I'll start calling it the Thurman House from now on. So Mary, I don't know. And see, I'm not from here. I guess that shows how much of an outsider I am.
See, I'm not
because
either, and
That I didn't pick
But-
up on that.
But
It's
you've
all
been here
makes a
100
difference.
years now.
You weren't originally from here. but you've been
not
here.
really 100 yet.
96.
Michael?
I've been good so far.
He's trying to be.
And sitting there just as nice as can be.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had to say that, he had to say that, it was killing him.
But you know what, when you are saying that, if you would have said that name of that house, I wouldn't have knew anything of it. But being as you said Thurman House, I mean, not that you wanted to get out like that, but to help people understand which house it is.
Uh-huh.
And especially
Could be.
people that weren't raised around here. and
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Right, that
They just came
moved in.
in.
Right.
Well, or even who were raised around here, because like
I
you
was, but it
said,
was-
Yeah,
House.
nobody's heard it called that.
nobody's heard it called anything but the Thurman House for
Well,
many,
for
many
years, it
Well,
sat
it was-
there in such a disarray.
Well,
But
we
who
were here,
owned
we
that
were here
before
when he
Thurman?
lived in it,
Yes.
in that.
I can
shape.
tell you that
Now, who owned that before?
Earl Wilson's, do you know Earl
Yeah.
Wilson? His grandparents owned the house in the late 40s.
Did
and
they?
He actually
Okay.
grew up in that house,
Okay.
but then it went to, I have all of the deeds from the house. I've done such extensive research
Then
on
who
this
did it go
house.
to after Wilson?
If you had asked me to prepare that, I could tell you, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember. I know that I don't know, I can't tell you, but I have that in my paperwork, because it's sold, we have all of the different
Yeah.
deeds.
Oh, okay.
And Mel Thurman bought it from a lady, I can't think of her name. Obviously, I don't know who she was, but, so we've tracked that. But, you know, the house was actually a two-story, kind of a Victorian-style house.
Oh, really?
At the turn of the century in 1904, when the church was built. We have pictures of it, and it was in a fire in 1982, and the top part of the house burned. It burned from the inside, the very center where the stairs were. And so Mel went in and said, and Jim Baker says that Mel had done a lot of research, and he believed that what he did to change and transform that building was probably correct for the period. But he's the one who cut the top off and made it look more of a Creole style. But Jim feels like he had a lot of reason to do what he did. So that part of it, we don't have any documentation, because there isn't any. If there ever was any from Mel Thurman, I don't know what happened to it. We
It
don't
went
have
with
it.
him, yeah.
Well, I know that he had some things, and his children sold books and gave things away. So if anybody found anything like that, I'd certainly love to get copies of it to see, because Mel was an archaeologist, I guess, by hobby and trade. He had a degree, I believe, and so Jim felt like he did everything that he believed was correct for that period when he did. But nobody really knows. That's the thing, is people go, we're going to make it look like whatever. We don't know what it looked like. We do know that it had dormer windows, and all of those parts that are still remaining up in the top that they weren't destroyed in the fire, they give an indication that it was always a two-story home. So, I don't know, anybody's guess is anybody's guess, because there
Right.
isn't any documentation about it. So, but it's been a fun project. I learned an awful lot during the Historic Structures Report, because the people that came in pointed out things that, this board is doing. It has beaded beam ceilings in the first floor.
Has what?
Beaded beam.
Oh,
So the
really?
joists have these decorative beams on them that were carved out, and those are from when the house was
Wow.
built.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, so just little things like that, and we will be adaptively reusing anything like that we can, that isn't destroyed or damaged by the fire. So it's going to be a labor of love, it's one of those things, it's going to take us a while to do it, but
But it'll be worth it.
we're committed, and it will be worth it. It'll be an asset, it will be an asset to our church, but it will also be an asset to our
To the
town.
town, right.
Yes, it
Because, because it sat there for so long, and I think people kind of, it's always looked like this since we've lived here, Ed and I have lived here 8
There were a
years.
lot of conflict over that house.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
There were, but we're going to move on from that. And if you've ever been in the backyard, it has the most gorgeous tree. Like, the Artists Guild probably, I'm thinking about maybe having a plein air or something back there as a fundraiser too, because the tree that's back there is this huge oak that has to be the same age as the house. It's just enormous, and it would be a kid's dream to climb up it and have a tree house in it.
Oh.
So, not that we're going to do that, but if I owned that would, as a child.
You would have a
see-
tree house up there.
I would have a tree house. That's kind of a trend anyway,
Oh,
isn't
yes.
it, to have a tree house? Yeah. So, but anyway, I hope you all can consider, we're going to have some great prizes at the trivia night.
I'm
And
awful at trivia.
it doesn't matter, you can buy cheats.
By what?
Cheats. You can buy a pass, so if your table doesn't know, you can pay to get out of it and not lose points or anything, so.
And
we
you
have-
can buy desserts.
And you can buy desserts.
Maybe we
Oh,
should go.
yeah.
You can sit there and taste the desserts.
Maybe I could sit and eat the desserts.
I'm trying to think, what else do we have, besides I have Werenberg, we're putting together gift baskets that we will have for silent auction, but I have Werenberg movie tickets, and we'll be putting something together with that, theme, maybe a movie to go with it, and popcorn and stuff like that, but, so
Or
we're getting.
A dinner. at a
Well,
restaurant.
At our new restaurant that's going to open
Yep.
soon.
Get the wineries out.
Well, if you guys want to donate that, I'll be happy to accept it. I'll be happy to accept it. Everything, like I said, everything that we're doing, selling, any of that is going to be donated or volunteer. So we've been really fortunate. We've had a lot of stuff donated to us, and a lot of good, just talented people who have been part of this, and that's the amazing thing, that people come up to me and say, oh, can I do that? And Yes, you can. So I'm really happy to have, the participation. So I'll put you down for a table, all of you. Iris says, I'm terrible at this.
I am terrible at
Could I
trivia.
ask what the booby prize is?
The booby
If the booby prize, you tell me what the booby prize is.
I don't know what a booby prize is, and I don't know,
That's the tailgate.
The one that gets no
Oh.
points whatsoever.
Yeah, and then usually give some kind of really off the wall.
really, I don't know about that. I have never been to trivia night, so I don't know. My daughter goes to them, and she's gonna come down and run it, but I don't, I'll come up with something for you. I could give you one of my paintings. Actually, I am gonna, I'm actually gonna donate a painting to be auctioned, so, yeah, I don't know. A booby, I could give you one of my cats.
I don't want to.
I could give you Ed for a week.
Does he do windows?
He probably would. What else? What did you have in mind? Give me a suggestion. I don't know about those.
A booby prize, you have a little trophy or something that says,
Oops, I moved.
yeah.
The world's worst.
World's worst trivia player.
Or I've
Yeah,
won
just-
Trivia 101.
Yeah, I like that one.
Just like crazy.
Well,
I'll never forget, I was at trivia one night. They insisted I do it. I kept saying, no.
I'm not good at
I'm no good at trivia. Well, they found out I was no good at trivia. And they
So-
never asked me again.
this. You would be like a handicap of
Very handsome.
I would be
Unstable.
handicapped.
We need to go to a table with 3 handicaps.
well, that's why you gotta get the people to make you look smart. There you go.
Boy, they'd have to be
Get
smart.
7 other people to make you look really good.
Get some of them genius.
Is it 10 at a table, is that what it is?
It's 8 at a
Eight
table.
at a
$100.
table.
How do we have to find 5 more
100
people?
5 more. Oh, well, no, you each have to have your own table because 3 of you would really be a handicap. In fact, it would be like,
It was so much fun.
that's right.
Oh, God.
Well, and that's really all it's about is coming out.
Yeah,
It's having fun, yeah.
We have to be at the same table.
We need a lot of desserts.
Exactly. I'm trying to put together our dessert menu, but we're gonna have like an espresso cupcake, a double chocolate one.
And you have diabetes, you poor thing.
Was that confidential, Mary?
Well, there goes my chocolate.
Well, we want you to stay healthy.
I know.
If you didn't have the beer though, then you could have the cupcake.
I don't drink,
Oh, well, there you
so
go.
say, I don't drink wine or beer or.
You're just a good little girl.
So,
I didn't say that.
Anyway,
Said you didn't drink.
these people are probably ready to tell their part, so I
Okay,
appreciate it.
well,
And
Thank
I hope
you,
you come back.
come back.
And I was waiting for Pat Parker to call in.
Pat might be sleeping. It's getting late.
She listens all the time.
I know it.
I heard she was gonna call in, but maybe she was.
Pat, if you're listening, you better call in, honey.
We miss you.
You guys have way too much fun.
Oh.
Anyway, well, and I'll sit here a few more minutes in case she calls in.
Okay. So our next guest is,
They're not
Martha.
guests, they live here. Oh, there she is!
Pat Parker.
I love it.
Hello?
I'm not sleeping. I'm here.
Thank you.
Lunch.
Why do you wake up, Pat?
Say hi, Becky.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Becky.
How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm
I
trying,
didn't know I was expected to call in. I don't have anything special to say.
well, Ed said you always call in. I said, oh, good, I hope she's got a good question or something. And then when you didn't call, I thought, well, okay.
Well, I'm in on this whole thing with you, that's fundraising and everything, so I kind of know everything that you already told us.
Isn't
And
she
if you have
smart?
any questions?
Hey, Pat, you can be on our team.
Yeah, there you
Now we only need 4 more.
I've never done trivia.
We're only in it for the fun.
Yeah, well, call me, maybe we can work something.
Okay, so now we got
Okay,
four.
that's my call. Good night.
Good night, Pat.
So now we got four people, so we only need
We
four
love her.
more.
So now you,
Are you gonna do it, Martha?
I might do it with you.
Okay.
I can't. That's September the 27th, I'm gonna be out of town.
Oh,
you can call it in. We'll allow you to be a lifeline.
There you go.
You can
yeah, you be our lifeline, we get one call.
Listen, guys, I was gonna be in it for the fun of it. I would be your worst lifeline.
Oh, no,
You
no,
would
I
die.
would be worse. I would be worse.
Well, now
Number
we
one's
have to
pretty
work
good.
on the best movie prize for your table. You're gonna win it. Anyway, well, I'm gonna go. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Okay,
I
thank
will
you.
come back.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, guys, you can talk.
So,
You have our permission.
how long they got?
They got as long. They
Oh.
can do, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that.
Okay. Well, up at the fairgrounds on September 13th, we're having another truck and tractor pull, another event.
Tired
These-
of that, hear that.
These guys were at our fair on Thursday evening, and they put on a great show. If you like noise and smoke, this is the,
I don't care. for
That's the
either
place
one.
to go.
Yeah, this is
I
the
can hear
place.
it at my house.
yeah, it's our,
You're good, all right?
sounded just like them ducks.
but, yeah, we're just wanting everybody to come out and enjoy the evening. Starts Saturday night at 7 o'clock,
And what date is that?
September 13th.
13th?
And how much is admission?
12 and up is 15, 6 to 11 is 8, and 5 and under is free. And we're gonna have concessions at the food
So
center.
I could say I'm 5.
You could.
Yeah, you could.
Now, the people
you
that's
furnish
collecting
your
at
work?
the gates may not believe that. We may have to have those walkie-talkies.
What time does it
You already
start?
said.
7 PM.
7, okay.
And the pits are open if you wanna,
If we wanna be
families wanna
kids.
come up with their kids, they can go down in the pits where the trucks and drivers are and walk around from 4 to 6.
Oh, okay.
And then at 6, everybody has to be out of the pits because the trucks and tractors are moving around and stuff. So, I mean, we had a good time last year, a good crowd.
Good crowd.
How much did you say it was?
Do what?
How much did you say it was?
12 and up is
Will
$15.
you pay attention?
She was sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I'm tired, I've been a busy week.
Well, it was something that, we've always had the fair, but, the new officers in the last couple of years, what can we do to help and do something different for our community? Bring in some fun, bring in something. And this went over so well on the Thursday night that we did it last year for our first time, and it went really well, so we thought.
Yeah, actually, we booked this before the fair
Yes.
this year, so.
Oh,
I mean, it's neat if you look back and go back 30 years when the Blue Ox, the guy used to own the Genevieve, and
Oh,
Wayne
yes.
Fowler,
Remember those?
this is the same thing. I'm just, newer and
Right.
bigger
Yeah.
and more money, I'm sure,
Oh,
but yeah,
definitely.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like she said, we got more events. Last year we did 3. This year we're gonna do 3 again. I'd like to see an event up there every month through the summer.
so what have you got booked, Mike, for this year? You said.
We're doing the
3.
September 13 truck and tractor, and then we're gonna have the Christmas fair, Christmas
Oh,
again.
okay.
Now, is that gonna be the second weekend?
No.
You're gonna do it the
First
first,
weekend.
same time as the fair,
And the
that
reason
walk?
for that was because of this being big for kids, Santa Bash is on the second week.
Oh, okay.
So we figured, and we're not gonna be hurting anybody down there, because what would be with us would be, like later on the evenings, we'll have, hopefully we'll be able to have our carriage rides again, And, maybe the,
And hopefully no snow.
we're not even gonna talk about that stuff, but anyway, you're right. Hopefully not. But, Dave Murray said that, well, we won't listen to what, well, you know what, how good they are about predicting weather? Well, he said the last 10 days of November, we're supposed to get some stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
he said that stuff.
Stuff, yeah.
And I'm not gonna say it, but,
That's
anyway.
anybody's dream, you could be wrong that many times and still get paid.
Right.
You know, so. but-
Yeah, that's the only profession that I know of you can do those things.
Right, right.
Well, that and Don's job.
Yeah, well, he's a weather predictor.
Yeah, he predicts the weather and half the time, no, over 3/4 of the time he's wrong. Sorry, Don.
Also, we've got a scholarship raffle. We're raffling tickets, chances off. First prize is 500, second is 300, third is 150, and fourth is 50. And what we do is give a $250 scholarship to St. John's Valley and to one of the homeschools every year.
Yeah, that'll be
So
drawn,
this is good.
that'll be drawn the evening of the 13th.
Excuse me.
And how much are they?
$1 a piece or 6 for 5.
Give me 6 of them.
There you go.
Are you gonna sell these out of the country more than anything? or-
We've been off and on. I don't know if I don't think we're gonna be able to sell again before the fair, or before this event,
Before
we'll be
that.
selling them up there. So, that's a good question. I don't know if Tanny,
You know what? Thank you for asking, because maybe we could get, maybe that weekend, we could do it or something. Yeah, we'll have to. Maybe we could do one evening or something.
yeah, because we were selling them before the fair. We're selling them pre-advance tickets and stuff, and we were selling
Oh, were you?
a
Those
bunch of
with them.
those, yeah.
And then I get some, oh, well, get me closer to the date, get me closer to the date. Well, the date's almost here, and it's, so, they can get them through us.
Or call my shop. I mean,
Yeah.
my wife is in town, taking the kids to school and picking them up, and, I mean, if somebody wants chances, we can rent them by.
Will you have some, Martha?
Mhm.
Okay, because I'll take some.
Yeah,
But I
have
didn't.
any
I'll get
money.
them in.
I didn't bring anything but
You
my
even got
driver's
your little
license.
stickers on.
Yeah.
You mean your eyes are good enough, you can put it,
Hey, I started that, because I seen somebody else do that.
What
And that's what I did
did
with
you
mine.
say,
This
Michael?
is safe.
apparently your eyes are good enough, you can see to do that.
Listen to that.
And Martha has school going.
Actually, it's going
Remember
really
what I
well.
said, Martha? When they ask you about school, what are you supposed to say?
It opened.
And everything's
It opened and
fine.
everything's fine. No problems, no nicks and glitches, and everything's going good. And actually, Dr. Lindsay, I will mention this, we have a new superintendent this year, a new assistant superintendent, and a new director of special services. Dr. Lindsay, Jeff Lindsay is our superintendent, and he would like to come and talk, but he had to take a class, and it was the finals tonight. And then they have open house, so Dr. Julie Fleeg is our assistant superintendent, and she had to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dr. Green, she was, so.
So they're welcome back anytime they
Yes,
can make it.
they
Yeah,
would
that'd
really
be
like to
fun.
be here, and there's some exciting news that they'll want to bring out, and so it's going pretty good, and. you
That's
know,
good.
All the sports is going, and
Back in the swing of things.
back in the school things, and we were talking
You want your
because
studies?
I was on the board when we didn't have the air conditioning. Can you imagine what it'd been now?
Oh,
Because
my
when people,
word.
it wasn't,
I know what it was
hot.
like when we went to school. We never
Yeah,
had
we never had
fans.
But we never
Yes, the
started
windows open.
school
Yeah.
no,
until
never started
September.
this early.
Did we have
And we were
electric?
out
Do you have
there
electric back when you were in grade
Well,
school?
yeah, but we had electric. One light bulb out in the middle of the ceiling. Smart aleck.
I went to grade school in that old grade school that they tore down. That's the desert now.
Really? I didn't realize that.
And I did a couple years of high school, and one next to church there, the Rock Building.
Well, I was very young, but where the high school is, where the commons area is, like that area, that used to be the football field. And somebody said, oh, it was not? I said, oh, yes, it was. So I went to a game there. And then back there with the football field, that was, because we lived up that way,
The
that was a
field,
big
yeah.
sinkhole,
Mhm.
big old mess back there.
And you look how things are nowadays.
Yeah. And Valley used to play football up there
Yeah,
because we didn't have a field when we were in high school.
somebody told
We
me
didn't
that.
either at St. Vincent's, we played over in BHS.
Right?
Did you really?
When I was in high school, we didn't
Yeah.
have anything, had in the gym for basketball.
And we even played volleyball in St.
Played
John's.
out in the
St.
cow
John's
yard.
Gym.
I didn't realize.
The,
Volleyball,
basketball, and
middle
volleyball, that's all
school
we
gym.
had.
It was a high school then, yeah, that's where we played volleyball.
We didn't have a football team.
It was that or nothing until we got to school built. So that's where our games were at. I can remember one night we were playing and I was serving and Father Javier blew the whistle. Hey, take that ring off. All the people, well, adults didn't really go to the games then, it was mostly kids, so it
Yeah.
wasn't quite as embarrassing. Well, we weren't supposed to wear jewelry, but I had somebody's class ring on.
We're actually gonna have an, I just thought of this, we're gonna
Okay.
have an auction.
Oh, are
A
you?
big auction up there, when is that, Mike? The 20th?
With this or in
No,
no,
addition
no.
to? In
It's
addition
Tom
to?
Oakenfoos. It's renting the grounds up there. There's an auction coming up.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
September 28th.
Yeah, it's that Sunday.
Oh, you are? There's gonna be an
Yes.
auction up there?
A big
Yeah.
one.
He'll advertise in the Herald
A
for it.
private auction for
He
someone.
called, and it's supposed to be huge.
Well, I think it's probably a lot of the stuff that they, yeah, I better not say that they don't sell
At
and
the
then
yard
they.
sale, maybe?
No,
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 this is an
a state
individual.
or
Yeah,
individual.
Oh, this
an
is an
estate,
individual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. We have one up there, well, actually, we've had two. And one was, where was these last people from? Were they from Illinois?
No, it was somewhere out in Bloomsdale or somewhere.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't, the house was so far, it was like, just like a dirt road, get back to it or whatever. And they brought all the stuff up here, and I think the family was from all around.
Oh,
The
okay.
kids and stuff come down, and, I mean, that was one huge auction.
Oh,
I mean,
my.
the Fair Board cooked food and sold food out of the kitchen and stuff, and it was a good moneymaker for the Fair Board. So, Tom said this is supposed to be a huge sale, so,
So it'll be a good one for you too.
yeah. Yeah, because I mean,
So you do
If you
food
like
and the
sales.
rent of the building then?
Yeah.
That makes a.
yeah, if anybody's
Yeah.
interested in renting a building for a wedding reception or whatever, I mean, it's very affordable. You know, that's, you know, the county owns the building, so, you know, we take care of it or whatever, and
I
rent it.
cooked for a couple weddings up there,
Did you really?
yeah. Trying to think, I can't even think of who the one.
But it's, I mean,
Somebody got
it's nice
married.
for
Yeah.
birthday showers,
That's when I was-
Graduation.
graduation
A lot
parties.
younger.
And the schools, we've had the school, Valley's used it for the floats.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think this year, well, the FFHA or FFA, they're renting or using it sometime. Danny gave the key.
That's
Today.
nice to have that building there with
It
the
is,
garage
it is.
doors and
Yeah, it almost
Access
it
to
almost
it.
needs to be bigger.
it
I
does,
mean,
yeah.
you know,
You know, when
think
you-
Even
about
the fair is getting.
Yeah,
crowded.
Yes.
during the fair,
Yes.
you got the 4-H and all the exhibits in
Right.
there. But if you could add on and about the same size, make like a letter L, where we could rent booths. Because we got so many people wanting to come up, but they need, well, this
Yeah.
year at the fair, we lost candles and a few other things because it was too
So
warm, they
hot,
couldn't sit
yeah.
outside. Yeah, I mean, there'd be so much.
It was nice when they used to have it in the barn. That Reed barn, they used to have the exhibits and stuff years and years and years
Yeah.
ago.
They did,
Well,
Long time ago.
we're short on room now for all the exhibits,
we are.
so.
so tell them again what day and,
It's September 13th, 7 PM. It's the second annual River Hills Power Pole Nationals. It's a big
okay,
sanction.
hold it up, so maybe Don can if you see this around town,
Yeah, we're
read
gonna
it
have
and
flyers
see
up
what
and
it
we're
is.
gonna even put one across Fourth
A
Street,
banner.
a
We got a
banner.
banner.
So
Hold it up a little bit, Mike, he's zooming in.
There you go.
Okay, now you can go down, he's trying to get the, right.
Yeah, he's got it.
So, I'd like everybody to come out and enjoy the evening. There'll be food, we'll have food vendors.
And it might be cooler.
Hopefully by
We're
then.
planning on it.
Although the weather forecaster told me it was supposed to be there tonight, and I don't think it's here.
No, it rained a little bit somewhere, because it was a
In
little
St.
cooler
Louis.
when I left the house.
Yesterday too.
Yeah.
It, it dropped down to 78 this afternoon up in St. Louis from 92.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was still 92
Yeah, I was
here.
gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. So thank you both for coming,
And
and
thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah,
Be sure to
thanks,
come
Frank.
back.
Back
Come back again.
And bring your little
especially
sidekick
when you have
along.
something to say about school,
Okay,
okay?
yes.
Can I come back and say nice things about you?
sure.
Why do you want to lie?
You caught
I think we're upside down.
Are we upset down?
We're upside down.
You turn this upside
Down,
down.
even puts us head, oh Lord,
you.
no, look at that. Look, I look skinnier.
Your eyes are bad.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight, and I
And
hope you
watch
enjoyed
us
the
in your
show.
weeks.
And we'll sure let you know what we do on trivia night.
And if we're the
And now we're banging
winners, boy.
He's bouncing us around now.
He's playing with.
So good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night, and thank you
Have
for
a good
watching.
holiday weekend.
Yes, and be
And a
safe.
safe one.
Yeah, be safe.
Drive safely.
Channel 7 and 98 TV and web broadcasting are made possible through contributions and donations from viewers like you. Thank you for your support.